It was 3 a.m. and I was wide awake again. Sat upright in bed, my stomach cramping, my mind racing with everything that I had to do the next day. My husband was laying next to me, snoring away, and I remember feeling almost resentful that he could sleep, that he was asleep. And I just wanted it to be the morning, because then I could get up, go to the gym and power through, because that's what I always did. And at the time, I thought my stomach was the issue. I thought my sleep was the issue. I thought I was the issue. But what I didn't realize then was my body wasn't broken. It was warning me. For most of my adult life, I thought I was just a stressed person. Always thinking ahead, preempting what was going to happen, rehearsing conversations. I was always on. And honestly, I actually thought it was my superpower. So I worked in high-pressured events so I could anticipate the problems before they happened. And from the outside, I looked calm, capable, and successful. But inside I was struggling. The stomach issues, the 3 a.m. wake-ups. But I told myself this is just the price you pay. Of course I'm stressed, I got a job. Everyone's tired, this is just adulthood. I didn't realise what I was calling drive and ambition was my system stuck in fight and flight. I delivered the events, but my body paid the price. And here's the thing, it wasn't always dramatic. Looking back, there were actually loads of signs. I had quite a lot of symptoms. I didn't register any of them as serious at the time. I had severe digestive issues. I had broken sleep. My mind was racing constantly. I couldn't rest. My periods actually stopped for at least a year. I had adult acne, TMJ. I was grinding my teeth so much I chipped one. Muscle tension, anxiety, and if I'm honest with myself, I was probably depressed. But until I understood the nervous system, they all seemed like separate issues. Honestly, they didn't feel that major, and we lived in a society where illness was seen as weakness. So I pushed through, because that's just what we did. Some days were good days, but generally I was on the edge, ready to go. I had muscle tension all the time. My breath was short and shallow up in my chest. I'd find myself could never ever switch off, even if there was nothing major going on. I'd physically be there with my friends and family, but mentally, I was somewhere else. I found myself feeling quietly impatient and agitated with my partner, with my family, and then feeling guilty about it. I'd wake up tired even though I'd technically been asleep. And underneath it all, I had this quiet sense of something needed my attention. Even though on paper my life looked fine, maybe even great. And when we finally did get to go on holiday, and we could stop, and I expected to feel better, I didn't. My body was still braced. I was still thinking about the next thing, and there was this constant sinking feeling of sadness in the background. Even when life slowed down, my nervous system didn't. At the time I couldn't name it, but I knew something was wrong, and I knew there had to be more to life than this. But now I know why. My body didn't feel safe enough to rest. When you're stuck in fight or flight, when you're in survival mode, your body is flooded with stress hormones, and it's choosing survival over everything else, over joy, over connection, over digestion, over reproduction. So no, you're not happy. And that's before you add all the symptoms, so the lack of sleep, the stomach issues, and everything else that is going on. And like most high achievers, no, I didn't ignore it. I'm a problem solution kind of gal. And at the time, I thought the issue was the digestive issue, the stomach issues. So I went about trying to fix it. But what I didn't realize at the time was I was focusing on the symptom, not the root cause. And I tried everything. Specialists, different protocols, diets, yoga, Chinese medicine, osteopath, physio, chiropractor, you name it, I tried it. Hypnotherapy, meditation apps, sleep hacks. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds trying to fix these sleep issues. And some things helped a bit. I got a good day here and there, but nothing stuck. And then the hopelessness crept in. And I remember thinking, why doesn't it work for me? It works for everyone else. Why not me? Maybe I'm just broken. Maybe this is just my life now forevermore. And then when I thought things couldn't get any worse, lockdown hit. I lost all my event work overnight. Because I was freelancing at the time, there was no support. My marriage broke down. I lost all my money, and the life that I thought I'd have forever disappeared. I thought I'd be sad for like 2 weeks, but instead I fell into a depression that lasted 2 years. And yet, amongst all of that chaos, something finally clicked. I was in bed reading yet another self-help book. My husband was out having fun. I couldn't eat hardly anything. I was exhausted. My clothes didn't fit me because my stomach was always bloated. So no, I didn't want to go out. And I read this line in this book that really hit me. If you're being chased by a tiger, you don't need to digest your sandwich. And I remember thinking, like, that light bulb moment, like, oh my God, this makes complete sense. Why has no one ever told me this before, any of these experts? Because when you're stressed, your nervous system is in its fight or flight response, its sympathetic response. So it's prioritizing survival, not digestion, not reproduction, not creativity, not connection, not memory. Your muscles are tense, your body prepares to fight or flight. And it's not because you're broken, it's because it thinks you're in danger. My stomach wasn't the issue, my sleep wasn't the issue, my nervous system just didn't feel safe. And it was prioritizing survival over everything else. Meditation was recommended, but sitting still felt like torture. No one ever explained that if your nervous system is in survival mode, stillness can feel unbearable. And then, not long after that, I experienced breathwork for the very first time. And something happened that I remember so clearly. Something that hadn't happened for years, or maybe even ever. My mind started to calm down. My body started to soften. And it was only for a few seconds, but I remember being like, wow. I was like, is this what other people are like? Is this what other people's minds are like? Wow, this is amazing. And this moment changed everything for me. It was a feeling that I never experienced before. I started to connect with my body. I was like, what has just happened by breathing? And I was hooked. Armed with this knowledge, I was ready for change. Of course, it was not simple. It was not easy. And no, it was not linear. Because one thing that people don't talk about is when your nervous system has been in the survival state for a really, really long time, it will do anything to keep you there. Because for your nervous system, survival state is familiar, and familiar is safe. But for me, everything changed when I stopped pushing, stopped trying to do more, ticking off all these wellness practices. But when I started helping my body, my nervous system feel safe. And this wasn't with discipline, this wasn't with pushing through, this wasn't with another tick list or to-do list. This was with biology. And through breath work, somatical work, mindset work, I started working with my nervous system, not trying to override it, and things started to shift. Not overnight, but they shifted. My digestion started responding, my sleep started improving, my body softened instead of bracing. I actually became a nicer person. Because when you're in survival mode, different parts of your brain are activated and they see everyone as a threat. Someone can smile at you and you see that as a snarl. It's wild. I was finally out of my head and starting to connect with my body, with my emotions that I had suppressed for years because I thought they made you weak. I thought they would make me not very good at my job. And here's the part people don't expect. It didn't make me less productive, it made me more efficient. With a calmer mind, I could make better decisions, be more creative, and be present at home and at work. And then I realized something really important. I wasn't too busy to do this work. I was too dysregulated to skip it. Today, I work with high achievers whose lives look great on paper but do not feel great within. Those who are capable, aware, emotionally intelligent, who've already done the work, the therapy, the coaching, who understand their patterns but still feel wired, tense, and unable to fully settle. And if that's you, this is what I want you to know. It's not that the work, the tools, or the approaches that you've done are wrong. It's that your nervous system thinks you're in danger. So it's choosing survival over growth. So new tools, insights, and habits aren't going to integrate. You don't need to try harder. You're not failing at personal development. Your nervous system just doesn't feel safe. And when calm isn't something you chase, it becomes your baseline. This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about coming home. And when this happens, sleep, relationship, energy, confidence, focus, performance, recovery, everything becomes easier. You can think clearer, you can make better decisions, you can be more present at work, at home, in the gym, with the people that you love. It's not because you forced it, it's because your body feels safe enough to finally let go.